Russian President Vladimir Putin is sending his condolences to the family of Wagner founder Yevgeny Prigozhin. This, as U.S. officials believe the cause of the crash that killed him appears to be an explosion aboard the aircraft.
Now, this comes as UK authorities believe Russia's domestic intelligence agency was likely behind Wednesday's plane crash near Moscow. It killed 10 people. Russian officials claim Prigozhin was a passenger on the plane, along with some of his top lieutenants in the Wagner Group. You'll recall that this summer, Prigozhin was exiled to Belarus for leading a short-lived rebellion against Moscow leaders. We now know, though, he didn't stay there in Belarus, traveling and staying instead in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Joining us now is retired Brigadier General Peter Zwack. He's also a Global Fellow at the Wilson Center and author of Swimming the Volga, a U.S. Army officer's experiences in pre-Putin Russia. Great to have you with us on this topic. I want to get your reaction to these latest developments we're sharing, and also Putin sending condolences to Prigozhin's family.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for this. Yes, among the statements Vladimir Putin made in his public address was he said of Prigozhin, he was a man of difficult fate, but talented. And this is sort of the back and forth that Putin will play. I do believe it was the Putin regime that took down the airplane, and there'll be discussions how it was done. With this, you get another look, if you will, an affirmation of the absolute ruthlessness of this regime and Vladimir Putin in a way we haven't seen in greater, if you will, extended Europe since before World War II. And it's dangerous. But yes, it looks like he saw Prigozhin, this warlord who'd gotten a lot of media attention, and then launched a protest mutiny and drove halfway with about 8,000 people to Moscow. And I mean, it's extraordinary to see. And I think Putin at this point felt, you know, we're all hearing about it's one thing to be angry and all that, but Putin also, it's about loyalty. And Prigozhin had been talking ill and badly about the Russian campaign, which was unsettling the Russian people. But after this raid, and then all the Byzantine back and forth, the decision obviously was made to take Prigozhin out. And I'll stop here, except to say I think that Putin, besides being angry from a disloyalty, almost mafia crime boss view, I think saw Prigozhin as a looming rival in the future. There is a 2024 election of the disloyalty. He had a cult of personality, Prigozhin, in Russia that was growing. And I think all of this came to the decision to have him and his inner core of the Wagner Group, including the founder, Dmitry Utkin, brought down in this airplane yesterday.
It's really interesting, the point about loyalty, in part because they had such a long history together, and it wasn't just work colleagues, if you will, that they actually spent so much time together with Prigozhin as his chef. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about this question of how it was done. As we mentioned, British officials say that Russia's intelligence agency was likely behind that plane crash. Officials are telling our David Martin here in the United States that the most likely cause appears to be an explosion aboard the aircraft, which would potentially lend itself to the possibility of a bomb. How are they going to figure out the answers to this question? Should we expect answers to this question, given that the plane it crashed in Russia, and so much of our reliance on Russian official media for statements is subject to scrutiny?
No, it's a great question. First of all, it looks quite likely the regime behind it and with it via its intelligence services took their they will never admit it, and they will blame it on engine malfunction. They will blame it on dissidents. They'll even blame it on Ukraine. You watch, but they'll never ever admit anything to it. And the fact that it happened, it was like a tap on the shoulder to all the dissidents. There's an ambiguity about it. The truth will never come out through the regime unless the regime one day mutates into something else. And so it's going to remain a mystery, and there will be plausible deniability. But the world needs to remember, while we're in this awful, while Ukraine is in this awful war, invasion from Russia, this is the guy and the regime that they are dealing with, we as a collective are dealing with, and have been dealing. And just here it is, ruthlessly killed 7 Wagners and 3 innocent pilots.
What jumps out to me from what you've just laid out is this notion of it's a real tap on the shoulder, right? And it's a real sense that any dissident in Russia will continue to have, that if they step out of line at all, you know, they may fall out of a building, you know, sip from a poisoned cup, as so many other dissidents are believed to have met their end. You mentioned the election as well. I guess that's 7 months away. What then is the outcome for Putin after this? Just continuing to consolidate power, or has this exposed a weakness with him?
Well, I mean, we had this debate 2 months ago during this mutiny, this protest push. And here we are again. It looks domestically that, or at least internally in the Kremlin Game of Thrones, if I may, he's on firmer footing. It looks that way. But it also, I think, scares a lot of people in the inner sanctum what happens, this type of ruthless, and it's got to unsettle the Russian people, who are just getting every few months this crazy activities and behaviors domestically that the regime blames on everyone else. So we're going to have to see this 2024 election. I think the debate is, will there be election? Will Putin ask the Duma to say doesn't want to say we're in a war, to postpone it? Was Prigozhin, did he have political aspirations? And if he did, he would have been dangerous to a weakened Putin if Putin didn't do something to I guess, finish Prigozhin, because in the last 2 months, or 6 weeks anyway, it's been remarkable how, after he disappeared, how Prigozhin has been moving around and sucking down the media spotlight again, and the world of speculation that's going on. So this both weakens, I think, in the long term, because there are people in here in the regime that are even more concerned and afraid, but it also strengthens them because it cows people. It's that proverbial tap on the shoulder, whether in the inner sanctum, to the Russian people. The bulk of this messaging is for the Russian people. And of course, it is out there to the world. You know, we're serious, but we didn't do it, but this is what happens here. And that's what we're dealing with. And that's what the Ukrainians are dealing with as well.
Very interesting. All right. Retired Brigadier General Peter Zwack, thank you.
As always, thank you.